Hello, my friends. Back in the saddle again. I have another video coming at you. So, my camping trip is still on as of now. It's going to be the end of October. So, I'm really hoping that that goes through. I've already got my campsite, everything picked out, everything's paid for, got all my my stuff. I am going to an actual just camping place, but there's hiking trails and stuff there. My dad might go with me, which would be cool. He wants to take the boat and do some crabbing, so that'd be pretty cool. So we will see how it ends up out there. I want to talk a little bit today about aromatic pipe tobacco. There seems to be some, I don't know what the word would be, some like knowledge about pipe tobacco or the way people think about aromatic pipe tobacco that just isn't correct. And I'm going to address that a little bit today. I've got 2 tins here, so I'm not much of an aromatic smoker. I'll start with this. I prefer Virginias and English blends. I like Burley blends a lot. But aromatics, I only have a couple left. I've traded aromatic tobaccos for non-aromatics, and for pipes, stuff like that, because I'm not really an aromatic smoker. But there were 2 that kind of caught my eye. And the first one, I'll start with this, and I saw it on Father John's channel, which is a Parsons Progress. So you can actually go on there and you can follow him. He has a really good channel. But this Rattray's Westminster Abbey, and I don't know if that's gonna focus. There it goes. Yeah, and it's supposed to be vanilla topping, if I remember right. And then this Rattray's Buckingham. You can see the labels coming off of it there a little bit, but that's supposed to be like caramel. I don't know. It doesn't say on it. I just looked at, oh, here we go. Actually, it says it on the bottom. It would help if I did not have a public school education. I might actually be able to find out what's in it and read it. Let's see. Buckingham combines a mixture of Black Cavendish, light and dark Virginias, and fragrant Burley. Enjoy this blend. You'll experience the true promise of where hickory nut and bourbon vanilla meet a hint of cinnamon. So that sounds really good. And then this Westminster Abbey is smoking this elegant bouquet of Virginia, Burley, Maryland, hand-rubbed Virginia flake, and a pinch of Black Cavendish. Every puff is worth it. Each draw fills your mouth with an incredible, delicious, creamy caramel flavor, and you will ask yourself, why haven't I smoked this tobacco before? But yeah, so you got the caramel one here in this, and then you got the vanilla and nuts and cinnamon in this one. Bourbon, too, a little bit, which actually sounds much better than this one does, because I love bourbon and vanilla and all that. But this one, if you look, it's a much newer tin. Look at the top. It's not bulging. The bottom's not bulging. Even though the label is coming off, there's no bulging here. But with the Westminster Abbey, look at that. The top is bulging, the bottom is bulging. So I'm going to open this one first, and I'm going to let this bad boy age a little bit more. Aging aromatic tobaccos, there's kind of a stigma surrounding it, or whatever you want to call that. It's taboo to age aromatics. Now, I think it depends on the aromatic. I've had some Lane 1Q that was 5-6 years old and was still very good. The vanilla was still very present. Of course, it was aged in a mason jar, so that really helps too. No air or anything leaks out of those. So, yeah. But being as I'm not a big of an aromatic fan, I wanted to get a couple aromatics to try, especially for you guys, and see maybe if we could find an aromatic that us non-aromatic pipe smokers would like. I do have one, though. Maple Shadows is definitely one of my favorite aromatic blends. I smoke that all the time. But that's because the maple doesn't overpower the rest of the tobacco, and it has a really nice underlaying tobacco flavor, especially with the dark fired that's present in there. So I figured I would give this a shot, but there is a stigma surrounding aromatics that I was saying before. ADD has me thinking all over the place today. So, but that stigma is that when you smoke an aromatic, it's supposed to taste exactly like how it smells, especially with a heavily topped aromatic, like a lot of the Country Squire blends or Lane being one of them. Cornell and Deal's Autumn Evening, which I do not like at all. Even if I was an aromatic smoker, I still wouldn't smoke that one. Or anyway, you get the idea. I'm trying to think of another one. Molto Dolce, that's the other one I was thinking of. But when you smoke the tobacco, the aromatic is sometimes up front, but a lot of times it's not. And there's this stigma surrounding them that you're going to taste that aromatic throughout the entire bowl. At least that's what I thought for the longest time. And I was chasing that taste. I was chasing the aromatic taste in the tobacco. It's like vaping, going from cigarettes to vaping. I wanted the aromatic tobacco to taste like cookies or taste like vanilla or taste like chocolate, but that's not the case. That topping is just there to add something extra to the actual tobacco flavor. So for a good aromatic, which I've heard Westminster Abbey is a good aromatic, you should taste the underlying tobacco flavor first and taste the topping along with it later. So not later, but like it should be in the background. It should just add to the experience. And I have found that a lot of aromatic tobaccos don't do that for me. Maple Shadows is one that does. Parsons blend from a Country Squire really does that. Another one from the Country Squire is Tom Bigby. That one is like a snickerdoodle cookie. That one really does do that, where the tobacco is forward, the aromatic is. It's a really heavily topped aromatic, and it's kind of goopy, but the aromatic is definitely a little bit more in the background for me. And so I like that kind of stuff. So let's crack this tin. I'm not sure if you guys are able to follow me. I feel like I'm all over the place right now. But you see how bulging it is. Let's crack this tin, just like we did with the GLP's triple play. Let's see what happens here. You guys ready? Oh, all right. It just popped. A little tobacco flew out and flew on top of the can, though, and a little bit over there on the floor. So that was kind of cool. Huh. It does smell like caramel, but not crazy. Like I said, it's very light, very mild caramel smell. I can definitely smell that aged Virginia smell mixed in with the caramel. It's kind of like a vinegary kind of smell. When you age Virginias, they do tend to do that. They do tend to have kind of like how would you say it? It's like when you pickle something or fermented. That's because that's what they're doing. They're fermenting in there. And so they do have that fermented smell to them. But yeah, it's definitely caramel. Getting some raisins, kind of getting like an oatmeal cookie kind of a smell. Bready. There's something there, though, that I can't put my finger on. It's kind of like a fruity smell. Like strawberries or blueberries or grapes, but it's not grape. This isn't Captain Bob's blend. It definitely smells like a fruity dessert, kind of. Like a fruit pie. Maybe like a blackberry fruit pie, but it's not blackberry. Yeah, I don't know what I'm smelling there. It's definitely fruit. Maybe like stone fruit, like um, peaches or plums or nectarines. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm getting a nectarine, caramel, and bread note. Yeah, definitely nectarines, caramel, and bread. Sounds weird when you say it like that, but that's what I'm getting. I'm going to be smoking out of one of my cobs. So I separate my pipes into aromatics and then non-aromatics. And mainly, um, I have one meerschaum and two briars and two corn cobs. Those are my aromatic pipes. Since I don't smoke aromatics that much, I only dedicated about 5 pipes to it. I know that may sound like a lot to some people. It sounds like very little to others. Everybody has their own um, pipe collection. You know, my dad has 3 pipes. He pretty much only smokes aromatic blends. But yeah, he's got 3 pipes, and that's it. I've got, I want to say, between 30 and 50 pipes somewhere in there. I haven't counted them all in a while. But anyway, yeah, we're doing Westminster Abbey today. So the as I said, I separate my pipes, and then what I do is I have these 5 for aromatics, and then the rest of them are for non-aromatics. And mainly, my briars are reserved for English blends, and my meerschaums are reserved for Virginia blends and dark fired Kentucky blends, and those kind of a little bit more wet or moist tobacco, I guess you could say. And then I smoke burley blends in both my briars and my meerschaums. And that's just kind of how I separate them. The meerschaums I mainly use for Virginia blends because Virginia blends tend to be a little more bitey, and meerschaums are more absorbent, and so they kind of cut down on the steam quite a bit when you smoke through a meerschaum pipe. So that's why I do that. Mm. Man, in the smoke, I'm getting nectarine. Like a very nice hint of nectarine, more than I'm getting caramel. I'm getting a little caramel, but for the most part, I'm getting nectarine. Holy cow. Settle down, boys. Settle down. It's not settling down. Ooh, a little tongue bite right off of that light for sure, because the flame was too hot. Hard to keep lit when it's an aromatic, but definitely still getting nectarine and a little bit of a dark stone fruit like plum. Like my grandpa and grandma used to have these trees in their backyard, and one of them was plum. And I used to go back there as a kid, and I would just pick plums right off the tree, bring them in, wash them, and eat them. And this definitely reminds me of that. A lot of times when you have a pipe and you're smoking a pipe, certain flavors will remind you of certain experiences that you've had or certain times of your life, just certain things that had happened. And this definitely reminds me of that. Dang, oh, there it goes. Yeah, this is very good. This might actually be an aromatic that I enjoy. Crazy thing is I have to really be in a mood for an aromatic. Not necessarily. Well, same with English. I mainly smoke Virginia blends now that I've learned how to manage the tongue bite and control the flow of the smoke, how the smoke reaches my mouth. how I pack the bowl. So now that I've learned all of that, Virginia blends don't bite me like they used to. And so that's what I mainly smoke. That and Burley blends, especially Codger blends. I love Prince Albert, love Carter Hall. I mainly smoke those combinations of blends like that, Briar Fox, that kind of stuff. And then English is second. I love a good English to wake up in the morning. Really lights my day. Really makes my day start well. I guess what I was trying to say was light. It really lights up my morning and gets my day started. Really nice to have a nice English blend for the morning. But in the afternoon and the evening, I tend to want Virginia blends because they're sweeter. After lunch, after dinner, I just prefer sweet Virginias. Having a little Jameson today. And it really, that goes good with this. You know, sometimes you just find a drink that goes really, really good with a pipe tobacco you're smoking. Jameson goes really good with this Westminster Abbey. But anyway, after lunch, after dinner, I prefer a nice, sweet tobacco. And so Virginias or aromatics, if I want an aromatic, that's what I tend to smoke. And tonight I was just feeling like an aromatic. And instead of reaching in there and grabbing some maple shadows that I have already jarred up, I decided I was going to pop one of these tins. I didn't know which one it was going to be and until I got in here and started recording and saw the bulge in the lid of this and was like, okay, that's the one we're going with. Now, going back to something I've said earlier, that I smoke Virginias usually in meerschaums and corn cobs. I do have corn cobs that I use for Virginia blends as well. And then I smoke Englishes in briar pipes. The reason for that is kind of twofold. One of them is a nostalgia thing. I just see Latakia and briar pipes as going together. I love English stuff. I love England. I love the way they do things. I'm, just like in America, I'm not a fan of the taxes that they pay in England, but the history, the culture, just the way they are, I love it. And so to me, briar pipes and English blends just go together. I've tried smoking briar or English blends and corn cobs, and I just do not like it. It's something about the way the cob tastes with the blend, even if it's a well broken in cob. For some reason, Englishes just do not smoke well in cobs for me, but Virginias and aromatics do. Same with meerschaums. I can smoke Englishes and meerschaums. In fact, it does give the tobacco a really nice taste, a really nice clean taste. But because I want to separate my English pipes and my Virginia pipes, I tend to not smoke Englishes in meerschaums. It's just something that I do. If I'm going for an English blend, I'm going to grab myself a briar. Well, this video's been all over the place. Hopefully you guys got some useful stuff out of it. At least maybe just smoking a pipe and watching me sit here in my garage with my hat cocked up like a high school kid and my little cowboy poster or picture in the back. I think I talked to you guys about that. My mom stitched that, hand stitched it in 1985, the year before I was born. Some of you are going to say, oh, 85, you were born in 86. Oh, I graduated in 86, or you're making me feel old. But I work with a kid who was born in 2007. Yeah, he just got hired onto the workforce. He's 18 years old, born in 2007. That should blow your minds. Because the 90s just happened, didn't they? The 90s were like 5 years ago. Where does the time go? 90s were great, though. I was a kid during them, though, so they were always going to be great for me. Yeah, this is a good tobacco. So, somebody, I cannot remember who it was, I was watching them, and they said that they had a rating system for when they did reviews of tobacco. And I don't know if this is supposed to be a review or if I'm just sitting here talking to you guys because I'm bored tonight. But his rating is, I don't like it, I do like it, or it's okay. And this is only my first smoke in it. But right now, I'm sitting in between the it's okay and I like it. I like it meaning I buy more tins of it. It's okay meaning if I find it on sale somewhere and it was the right price and I was in the mood, maybe I would buy it. And then, of course, don't like it, obviously not going to buy it. This is one of those that's like, if I'm on vacation or I go down to my pipe shop or whatever and I see it there and maybe they didn't have exactly what I wanted, I'd buy it again. But I need to smoke through maybe about 10 or 12 more pipes before I really decide. But dang, it's good. Has a very nice Virginia and burley undertone to it. The caramel has kind of worn off. I mean, it's there just as a little bit of a sweetness, but yeah, it's just kind of there. It's not crazy. Still getting some nectarine, but that's more in the aftertaste in my mouth now, is the nectarine. Kind of like you ate a nectarine and you still have that lingering taste in your mouth for the next 20, 30 minutes. That's what's going on. I think that might be why I like this, because nectarines are my favorite fruit. Yeah, this is enjoyable. You can see why Father John recommended it. Well, once I go through all of this, the next thing I'll have to break open when I'm ready for another one is Buckingham. And we'll see how that one is. Vanilla, bourbon, cinnamon, and hickory nut. Might be pretty good. I don't know if I had anything I wanted to talk about. I mean, the video's already 23 minutes long, so I don't think you really want to sit there and just keep watching me sit here, smoke a pipe, and talk about nonsense. But, well, my friends, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this bowl. You guys be blessed. Have a great weekend. And, yeah, I'm going to get out camping in 2 weekends. Maybe I can get out in the woods for a little bit this weekend and give you guys a video from the woods. We'll see. I'm going to have my oldest daughter this weekend, so she may just want to sit here and talk to her friends and play on her tablet. You know how teenagers are. That might give me a chance to go out and go hiking or something. Who knows? Well, my friends, be blessed. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.